This is George Dionne with Metal Express Radio, and I'm here with Leather Leone. How you doing today, Leather?
Morning. I'm doing great. Early, as we were just discussing, but I'm very well. Thank you.
If I knew absolutely nothing about Leather Leone, how would you describe your music to me?
Just straight ahead, passionate, magical metal. It's just what we feel, hard driving, aggressive vocals, melodic, very melodic. I like melody. Good standard metal.
Excellent. I'd have to agree with that. This week I listened to your most current album, which is 2, and It was released through Dive Bomb Records in 2018. And I want to see if you wanted to talk about a couple of the songs.
Absolutely. I love that record.
I don't know if these were necessarily singles, but these were kind of my favorite songs. So
okay,
why don't we start with Lost at Midnight?
Lost at Midnight. It's one of the first songs that we wrote, Lost at Midnight, about, look out, I'm fighting with one of my cats. Go away, honey. Was written about just a situation one night after a show. I basically, very boring, wanted the situation to happen, and it didn't. So I was up in my hotel room at midnight pouting, and that was about it, really. But the melody came really quickly to that, and it didn't end up being a single as far as metal records go. But yeah, that's a really good, cool song for us. I like it a lot. I still use the phrase "Lost at Midnight" all the time.
Another one that stood out for me was Black Smoke.
Very cool, George. Black Smoke, when it was the first lyric I wrote. We got stuck in Bogota in Colombia for a few days on that tour also. And it was so polluted and smoky down there that Rob Rock and I were wearing masks and everybody was laughing at us, but we couldn't, oh my God, our throats. And they all drive the old cars down there. It's just black smoke through the neighborhood. So that one, the way it sounds is the way the air was.
I see. So you were kind of ahead of the quarantine game with the masks and everything.
Jesus, yes, absolutely. Now that you say that, yeah. I don't know where the hell we got. Actually, I think Rob had a couple, and then he gave me a scarf. Yeah, we were just covered for a week. Everybody was laughing at us.
Another track I liked was Annabelle.
One of my favorite songs in the world. I'm really stuck in the 80s. I love dramatic metal ballads, or whatever you call them. My guitar player, Vinny, says it's not really a ballad, but okay. Annabelle, I was walking out of one of my favorite restaurants here at home, and I don't like children. It's, it's just standard issue. I don't do kids much. And I walked out of this restaurant one night, and there was a grandmother talking to a child in a stroller, and she was saying Annabelle, and I just happened to look at this baby, and this baby just locked eyes with me. It was the freakiest thing. These piercing blue demonic eyes just staring at me. And of course I had a couple drinks, and I was just, whoa, and the thing just wouldn't stop staring at me. So I came home and wrote Annabelle, and that song was written really quickly. And I think at the same time, Vinny had sent me the chorus to that. So yeah, it's about a baby. A demonic baby. Yeah, I like that song so much. Yeah, it gets played a lot around here.
American Woman is another great song.
That's not one of my favorites. American Woman, just about being an American woman and how the Latino guys would always hit on me at the shows, and it was just hysterical. That was kind of like, get out of my face, dude, kind of song. And it's funny, when people saw that, they always thought it was, who was it that did that song in the 70s? American Woman. I can't even think, but you know what I mean. Oh, not the Guess Who. Oh my God, I'm sorry, it's too early in the morning, but a very good song. Not crazy about it on the record, but
I only know Lenny Kravitz knowing that version.
Yeah. I think the Guess Who did the version. Yeah, the Guess Who.
When it comes to songwriting, are you a full contributor into putting the song together? Do you have like the melodies to go with the lyrics, or are you just a lyrics person?
Well, it's interesting. I always have lyrics writing sitting around, and then Vinny Tex, my writing partner, the guitar player, always sends me pieces of music. And it's funny, we were just talking about this the other day, and I usually have an idea. I always have an idea for a melody, and then then he corrects it. But I'm a full contributor. We do it, but I need help. I need someone an instrument person around me. So we do. It works out really well. But I do full lyrics, and yeah, it just works really well with us. But he's definitely the melody maker, as I say, because I love melody, but I can't always express it the way I would like to. So he gets it out of me for sure.
So you were scheduled for a U.S. tour in support of the 2 album, opening for Grim Reaper, but that didn't happen. What happened there?
It was a whole management thing. I don't know. I actually got more involved in it after it happened, and I was really disappointed in the way I was represented. But it was a management thing that didn't work out. Yeah, I should have been more involved. It was one of those lessons where you learn that you should always have your nose in all your business because people don't do it properly. That was a lesson learned, because they did do that tour, right? They did it without us. Yeah. Steve did it without us. I've actually been talking to him before COVID. We were talking about doing something next year, so I don't know.
Oh, well, hopefully you guys will be out there next year. I'm not.
Yeah. I don't do too much in the U.S. The U.S. just wants to see me with Chastain. Well, the whole world really only wants to see me with Chastain. So, it's a fight everywhere I go. But I got some good boxing gloves, so it's okay.
Well, I think the U.S. in general is not supportive of classic metal bands because,
no. Yeah.
Even, you said Grim Reaper did the tour last year, but, I mean, it's very, very small venue. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I know the U.S. is just different. Remember, Dio used to say it had become the land of American Idol.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't. It's so different in the rest of the world. I mean, I know South America is just sick. I mean, these kids are singing songs to me that were written before they were born. I mean, it definitely is a different scene. Yeah.
There's rumor you're working on a new album.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely halfway done. Yeah, Vinny and I are writing like crazy. Like I said, at least we can do that. That's what COVID is doing for everyone, right? I mean, you have to create, and there's so much angst coming out of everybody. But yes, I have 7 or 8 songs complete.
That's good. Do you have an idea what you might title the album?
No.
No.
I have a few floating titles going on, so no.
Is the release going to be billed as a Leather release, or a Leather Leone release, or a Leather Leone band release?
That crazy? I don't know. It's going to be a Leather release for sure. Yeah, Leather. I know there's so many things that get floating around. Leather Leone. I mean, just something for people to know me. I should do a survey. Leather. No, it'll be a Leather thing. It's probably actually going to be called We Are the Chosen, I think. I'm pretty sure We Are the Chosen.
Okay. Well, this week, same record label as you, Dive Bomb Records, released the 35th anniversary of Mystery of Illusion. Do you have any involvements when they do these anniversary editions, or is that a record company thing?
It kind of is a record company thing, but Chastain always talks to me about everything, about what it's going to be. I don't know what would happen if I really disagreed, but no, I am aware of all of it, and it's funny. 35 years. Oh my God! No, you guys, it's wrong. I think it was only 13. So yeah, I'm definitely hip on what's going on. I mean, that's insane that they've done that. I've been listening to that record. Oh my God, I sounded like a 12-year-old girl singing that stuff. And you see that he found all the old beta tapes.
Oh yeah.
And he's oh my God, we were so cool. Yeah.
What do you think of those beta tapes? What do you think of those beta tapes?
I love them. I love it. Oh my God. We were just up there doing it. I mean, I just love it. We were so young, just rocking. And that place was Bogart's. Bogart's was it still exists in Cincinnati. It was the first place I ever played with Chastain. There were like 2,000 people there, and I'm like, oh my, I had made it. That was it. I had made it. I love the videos, and oh my God, even though I sound like a 12-year-old, I mean, those ranges that I used to hit were sick. Yeah, I like it a lot. Although it's interesting, my voice has really, really changed. I'm assuming everybody's probably does. But Barney said to me, I put out a Sledge Leather record in 2011, and I played this part of the Dio family, and the first thing I did was run to Varney, listen to this, and he said to me, your balls have finally dropped, is what he said. Because I always wanted to sing the ranges that I'm singing now, but I never could. So anyway, that Mystery Evolution stuff, I love it. And people are, you don't realize the effect that it had on so many people. I think it's wonderful.
Now, what do you remember about recording that album back in 84,
I was up here in Katati, just 45 minutes away from where I am now, at Prairie Sun Studios. Oh my God, it's still there. It's still beautiful. It just sits out on a farm. The recording room is just like all one wall of stone. Oh, it's gorgeous. And that's where I met Fred Corey. That's where I met Cliff Bernstein was up there playing with Trauma. It was just great. And we just used to stay there in Marino, and I would make frickin' spaghetti every morning. And it was glorious. But as far as really doing the music, I was really green. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But, at that age, you think you know everything. So I remember going in there and singing the melodies that I had learned, and then they would, Chastain, Steve Fontana, and Marino, they would just decide to change everything right there, and I would just be like, I would just go off, I'd walk out, don't you do it then? I mean, so green. But, I just wanted to prove to everybody that I could sing, and I wanted to be Dio, and yeah, it was cool. I don't remember really being scared. I know that I was nervous, but just green. I mean, listen to it. I'm just shouting, Yeah, it was good memories, though. Good memories. I thought it was, again, the first time in a real studio back in the good old days. It was really cool.
Now, am I correct?
And then I can remember when we recorded Black Knight. Oh, my God. Marino just kept listening to it. He couldn't believe how good it was. So it was cool.
Am I correct that you guys didn't really do an official tour in support of that album because it was never really meant to be like a full...
No, we did not. We did not.
Okay. Your first official tour was after the second release, Ruler of the Wasteland, right?
You know what? I think it was after 7th.
Oh.
Because I remember Chastain oh my God, I was such a stupid girl. Chastain talking to me about touring after Ruler, but I had a boyfriend. There was some reason, when I didn't really want to go. Of course, that's the story. It may not be true at all, because I think I've always been ready to go. But I believe the first tour was 7th, and then after 7th, we would always go out once to twice a year.
Oh, okay. Do you have any memories of that tour cycle?
Oh my God, again, loved it. It's my life, sleep all day, up all night. Always loved touring. I can remember back in the 80s that something that always bothered me was that you would listen to these records, of course, the 80s with that stupid reverb and everyone was in a wind tunnel, that nobody ever sounded like the records, vocally. And I was like, so my goal was always to sound like the records. So I was always so involved in the sound checks, and I can remember there was a certain area where I can't even think of what you call it now, a certain range where I was deaf, and I found out what the range was so I could talk to the sound guys. And yeah, my goal again was to sound just like the record, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But it was work. I mean, being on the road for me, as it still is, it's never been a party. It was never that whole 80s thing where, you're doing blow and throwing shit out the hotel room windows and sleeping with everybody. I mean, it was always work, especially with Chastain. We always called him the general, It was work. I mean, we were expected to be on time and be ready and do our jobs. It was work, but I loved it. I really loved the challenge.
Dive Bomb Records also released the 30th anniversary of For Those Who Dare, which was the last album that you appeared on in succession. What do you remember about making that album in the late 80s?
Well, that was a big deal for us because we were on, it was Road Racer at the time, right? That became Road Runner. I think, that was with Monty Connor. That was a big deal. Oh my God, a real label. And it was before they signed to Nickelback though. So it was before they got really big. But I mean, that was the first signed record, and that was our first video. along with David, I was very disappointed with the remix that they did. That was when Sepultura had come out, and they just wanted records to be mixed and mastered the same. So they changed the whole sound of the record, which none of us were very happy with. But it was great. I don't remember the tour being that good, though. I just don't remember. That many more people were around, but again, it was such a thrill, you know. Oh my God, the video! Oh my God, seeing yourself on MTV for the first time, and I can remember we were on the road, George, and they were going to Headbangers Ball, and so we were all in a hotel room, and we all had a beer, and they put it on, and they had spelled Chastain wrong. And we were just going. I mean, doesn't it figure? You know, it's the story of the band, but. Good times, yeah, really good times.
That's good. So with you may not know this, or you may know this, but with the anniversary edition of the album, were they able to kind of tweak the mix a little bit versus what it was?
Oh, yeah, that's the original mix. It's the original mix. Chastain went back to the way that we had it mixed.
Oh, okay.
I think it sounds so much better. It's just a little more raw, you know. The production is... That always bothers me about records. And that started bothering me with the Voice of the Cult. That everything just was so homogenized. It wasn't for real, you know. There was so much production. I'm so not into that. I want to hear the way people really sound, and that's what I tried to do with 2. But it's interesting. I was talking to Vinny. Now I want to do We Are the Chosen totally different because 2 was a little too raw. But yeah, the original production, if you notice and compare them, it's a lot different. Some of the he changed some of the vocal melodies are different too. He put some of the original stuff on there, so.
Oh, that's good.
I don't think a lot of people will notice, though. I think you have to really be. I was just always into the way. I'm a vocalist, and there's probably a lot of us out there. I always like the way demos sound better. There's something about, especially me, on a demo, I think I just kind of let it rip because you got nothing to lose, right? And you try this stuff, and you're really free. And then I get in the studio, and I get so claustrophobic and restricted. It's stay in key, stay here, stay there. So I always like demos better. So maybe we'll just call it demo record or something.
Was Chastain a group that had equal contributions from its members, or was it everything pretty much built around?
No. Chastain was the general. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Now that I've done other things, it's always best to have one person in charge. It's just this democracy bullshit doesn't work in bands. But he would always work with me, though. He would present me with the songs and the melodies, and then he would let me change a lot of stuff. But it was all his. But saying that, it's not like he told David Harbour what to play. Harbour would learn his parts and go and play it. You know what I'm saying? But Chastain wrote the songs from A to Z. And then we took it from his plan, you know. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, there's plenty of guys like that. I mean, Yngwie Malmsteen, same way.
Oh yeah, he knows what he wants to hear, but you know, like I said, it's not like he stands there and tells the drummer hit the tom here, hit the snare. But he would definitely have the last say. Oh yeah, and that's okay. It was his name, you know.
Right. With the internet making it easier for bands to collaborate without being in the same room, have you considered another Chastain collaboration at all?
We were actually talking about that pre-COVID, and again, I just reached out to him the other day, but I don't know what's going to happen now. You know, I'm hoping, but like I said, there were talks about it in last fall, but then, you know, COVID-19 came around, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm ready to get on a plane now. I'll wear my mask and gloves, and I don't really care, but the rest of the world isn't like that. And, I would always go record with him, you know. I always went there. I know it's weird, though, with this internet thing, right? I mean, you can do whatever you want. Oh, my God. But I'm a vocalist that I can't just go into a studio by myself and rip it. I mean, I can't. I need a guitar player with me. I need someone to make sure, because I go off and get crazy and get too complicated, and so I always need somebody with me.
Right, kind of give you that little boost while you're in the room.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I said, I can't always execute my ideas. You know, I kind of get stuck a lot, and that's what's great about Vinny. We just really write on the same wavelength, and it's really cool.
Metal Express interviewed you back in 2012 when you released the Sledge Leather Project. You had mentioned in that interview that you had enough material for a second album. Has that been abandoned, or is it possible to hear that material down the road?
Here, hold on, my cat, you're stuck to me, baby, go. No, I don't think that's going to happen. That was a disagreement of the minds, again, like I was saying, the democracy. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. And I kind of knew, it was funny, I always called it the Sledge Leather Project, and people were always going, why are you calling it a project? Because I think in my head I knew, but yeah, no, that's done for sure.
Okay. Do you work on, or have you been working on any other projects besides the Leather Leone band stuff?
Yes, Scott McCullen, I'm probably saying his name wrong. I hooked up with the guitar player who's on, he's back, he's doing the new Tony Martin album, and I hooked up with him through Mike. I've done a couple songs with him that are, and again, I don't know with COVID when anything's going to be released, so we'll see what that's about. He did a record where he just got a bunch of vocalists. I don't even know what it's going to be called. I think it's going to be on Dark Star Records, but yeah, that was pretty different stuff for me.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. I'm really excited to hear it. Again, I don't know anything about the release because everything got changed. And I apologize, Scott. I'm probably saying your name wrong, but again, he's a guitarist on the new Tony Martin solo record, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are excited for this Tony Martin record. I mean, he makes a lot of guest appearances lately, and, it's been a while since he's put something out.
I know. When's the last time he put something out? Do you know? I didn't really know he did solo stuff. I'm ashamed to say. I just know about the Sabbath stuff. So he put out solo records?
He usually does, collaborations. So it's like Tony Martin. Yeah. Nothing. I don't think anything's been officially Tony Martin that I can remember, but I know he had the Guartini project. He was the singer on that, and he hooked up with another guy in Japan and did something, but I don't think anything's been officially Tony Martin.
And he did a song with my friend Veronica on her solo record. So I understand. Yeah. It'll be great. It'll be great. And Scott's a great guitar player. Again, totally different than anything that I've done, But yeah, it was really cool for someone. He just threw me this song and he goes, "Okay, do what you want." I mean, that was really cool. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
So I noticed you conclude your posts on social media with love and Dio. So there must be a story behind that.
Well, everyone knows my fascination and love for Ronnie. I don't really know when I started doing that. Unfortunately, it was after he was gone. And I don't really remember. It just came one day because, Dio means God in Italian. I'm Italian, so maybe it's something to do with that. I'm not sure, but it really stuck. It might have been something that I just did to a friend, and then it's meant out of the utmost respect for him. So I just thought it just stuck with me, kind of like Voice of the Cult, that stuck with me too. I'm sad to say I don't know how Love and Dio started. I'm going to have to think about that. But again, I'm sure I was probably just emailing a friend and something came out. We were probably talking about Ronnie and I just said it. Now it's just part of my life. Yeah. Everybody says it back to me. It's really cool. It's like a little secret thing. Not secret, but, our little message to each other.
Yeah. Dio's passing is what inspired you to come back to music, correct?
Yeah, it's so bittersweet. I think about him a lot because I wish that he was still with us so I could show him what I'm doing, But yes, it was, I was down at his funeral and I can remember thinking to myself, it was such a horrible, horrible time for everyone. Just being ashamed of myself that the powers that be had given me the gift to sing, and I was doing nothing. And one of the last things he said to me when I saw him at one of his last shows that I had seen him, and he said to me, don't ever stop. I know it was after Chastain, and he said, just don't stop. You're good enough. Don't stop. And so it just kind of was spinning in my head, and then I hooked up with some old friends, and I hooked up with Scott Warren, and yeah, I mean, I did it for him, basically, and let me tell you, I hadn't sang in many, many years, so it took me a good year to get in shape. I was in and out of studios, and, because it was the same thing that I said to Chastain in 2013, if we're going to do this, it's got to be up to par. I'm not going to be one of these, old rockers that can't sing anymore, so... But yeah, it was because of him leaving that I felt I owed it to him. Jesus Christ,
That's a good story, though. That's a good inspirational thing. When you're not making music, are there other hobbies that you enjoy?
Oh, well, I work with animals. I've worked with animals since I stopped touring in the 90s. I'm a vet tech, so that takes up a lot of my time. I'm really blessed in life. There's two things I love, animals and music, and I get to do both of them. So I'm really, really busy. Animals by day, music by weekend and by night. So, at least I'm not going crazy like a lot of other COVID musicians. I have another life that I have. So, and nothing has changed for me at that end.
Excellent. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you today, Leather. I appreciate you speaking with Metal Express Radio.
Absolutely. I love you guys. You've always been really good to me. It's much, much appreciated.